I will let you know that I'll be doing a late night stream only just for 2 or 3 minutes because I had to sleep by 9:45, and sometimes time zones are a bit different, and things might get a little complicated as usual. We'll make the time zones even further different than ever before. Some schedules might reappear from one screen to another. I literally have other things to do. Besides, I might not have any after school practice tomorrow or even Wednesday because we might have a little break from it. Sometimes sports are different type of competition going on. Sadly, one of the coaches has to sleep in very early because they had a morning rest and now they start to get a lot more energized better than before. I sometimes recall this a International Sleep Habit Day. Starting as of next week, we might do a sleepover as intended. I'm not sure if I could invite anyone, basically, since I'm in New York. These neighbors are far away and their houses aren't even that close. They're like blocks and blocks away. Due to the Google Map, I realized something that not everybody uses the same technology based on how they drive, how they take things way more fairly, and why people need different locations compared to what their monitors have. We can recall this as a mobile technology. Sometimes when people don't know their location, it's okay to just to share them with a driver or anybody. You cannot share the location to a stranger because it may affect everybody and doesn't know whose house they were in. Sometimes they can leak personal info and other stuff too. We don't want that to happen because what if people couldn't understand their house number or any other significant place that most people should have been located at? Fabio Jr., good to see you. We're talking about locations and all that stuff and why. Oh, yes, got any ghost stories? Well, this was taken last year of Halloween, right? When sometimes people go to trick or treating, all they see was they dressed up like a ghost. So what they did was they tried to use like one of these old like fabric stuff and they try to put it on their head. But first they need to cut the holes for the eyes and they try to scare everybody with the thinking that a person could be like a real creature. So that was cool. Maybe this year everybody will celebrate Halloween again, and it should be fun too. Not only if it's scary, sometimes it can be haunted as well. People realize that not everybody should go onto the same path. The ghost was typically real, okay? We understand that not everybody can share the benefit of getting scared by vampires, ghosts, witches, and many other Halloween characters as well. Beneficially, we recognize the idea of getting scared. Like when sometimes people go through haunted places, many people were terrified. They don't want to see everybody in that scary place, and it shouldn't be as fun as intended to. It can be the opposite, and the thing is, many of those haunted houses were creepy as well. There's no people, and people thinks that we're trying to pretend as a hidden creature, and nobody was even there because we all think we get jump scared by somebody. Let's say when they actually walk out at night, knowing that there was nobody in there, and all of a sudden somebody came behind you and started running. They were screaming at everyone. Fabio, please stop spamming. Thank you. And I just want to make sure that not everybody can be scared sometimes. They could just be relevant and just try to protect themselves from getting hurt or getting, yeah, like it's probably not that fair for just some other kids that were being afraid of. They might say trick or treat, and they will ask the person who bought candy for them. But sometimes they like to play tricks with other people too. And they realize that Halloween wasn't the best holiday for them. It's just that they're scared of everybody. Like the clowns wasn't even that scary at all. They can be friendly, of course, right? Sometimes in particular, things might have changed during the opposite, but not really. Sometimes when people say their makeups were being swapped and they were confused of which costume or outfit they wear, and knowing that they need someone to protect from the night, and what they have is a light post. That way it's easy. So that way it's easier for them to walk. Otherwise, they might forget which house they had to go to and grab candy from. If you're from anywhere a part of the U.S. that celebrates Halloween within this year or next year, please make sure that you need a grown up with you. And by the start of October 31st, we want to make sure that all candy must be formed into four groups, okay? And save some of the candy for rest. And then once the candy were divided into groups, people are allowed to eat only one and save it for next time or even tomorrow. Did Denji 310. Hi, good to see you. We've been discussing about Halloween stuff, and particularly how Ghost was scaring everybody during this holiday since last year that most people have been celebrated since every night. Oh, your name is Elizabeth? That's cool. Anyways, I like that name. Uh Basically what I said was we've been talking about ghosts and why houses can be haunted sometimes. And we've been discussing about this because it can be a lot more entertaining and more scarier just for anybody. Um, if you have one creature that you don't like, what would it be and why? For I'll start off first. I don't like vampires because it literally bites me with a sharp teeth, and it can turn. Sometimes vampires can turn into bats too, which it can be scary. It can be fun, but it can turn into magic as well. It just depends on someone that most people like. And why are you afraid of spiders? And sometimes what let me say, ghosts, vampires can be. Can you say Alpha Kenny? Yeah, I can say it too. Cosmo Jones, I got you. Alpha Kenny. I think I got it. So, basically, the reason why I don't like vampires is that they keep following where they supposed to go, and then they start flying across the sky, and many people were trying to get serious. And oh, you forgot Buddy, right? Alpha Kenny Buddy. There we go. Now I got it. Anyways, like I said, um, it's already midnight for me. Um, Lucky the Clover Cat. Good to see you. Anyways, so there was that one house that was haunted, and many people were terrified. Okay, I don't really like going through those creatures because it's really haunted. I really hate vampires and spiders because it creeps me a lot. And sometimes people say, well, I usually am afraid of those terrible creatures that came around me. And what I do is I hide myself like somewhere on a pillow or something like that could keep me away from those haunted things. And I really tend to watch scary movies sometimes, but things have changed up a bit. You know how some one creepy character would try to imitate that person, and they try to, trap that person into somewhat like a dungeon, for example. It's not that fun, and it can be a lot more embarrassing too, right? How would anyone feel that most people would say, well, I usually think of something that is really useful, but at this point, it's scary for me. And we don't want that to see that happen again. Personally for me, I am really indulged with something that is really calming. Not just focusing on what we've been coming all along. It's not really that easy for many other actors that can play through this one type of filming process of this giant play. And it was made from a script. The director has to announce to students which part they had to be in. Once that movie comes out, they start to watch it and rate from the movie, and we're going to discuss a little about it and then put into a simple correction and made a huge statement about it, just to how they can handle their disappointment, and we can use descriptive language too. Why are you afraid of zombies? Because zombies can, may attack everyone. And sometimes people are really afraid of it as well. But personally, for us, we need to stay away from that horror that can literally make everyone feel scared. And sometimes we need to cover things up by using, let's say, a pillow. When we feel scared of something that most people don't like, we can just run upstairs and hide. You don't need just to crawl down onto the floor or just run away from the house. Otherwise, the creature might come up to you and start running, like very easily. This is why every year we've been celebrating this type of holiday. But personally, Halloween is one of the most, yeah, exactly, have infection. Like eating people's necks, like, maybe turning other people into zombies as well. Like, I don't know why this happens to everyone. Like, when they go out to somewhere and all they see was a bunch of zombies walking around, they don't want that to happen because everyone is going insane and they start running and running until they get tired. But then the zombies kept on running and running, and then they start to run slowly and slowly until they start to get infected. Which is absurd. Like, nobody should have been this kind of infective person with this kind of creepiness. And we may never know who tried to act this out because zombies were kind of scary too. And sometimes witches can turn people into many other dangerous things, and it's very bad. We may lead into cause of pain, and maybe sometimes they might need to take or end up in a hospital for maybe let's say a few months. But then all of a sudden things didn't work, and the doctors say, "Oh my God, there was a zombie in the hospital." So then the doctors started to run onto the first floor, and then out in the door there were a lot of zombies coming across the street and maybe through the local transportation, which is absurd. How can anyone would do this? Like, this is like a zombie apocalypse. Like, this is a world of humongous creature lingering around, which is wanted things to end very greatly. Besides, not everybody can be protected. They can still get even worse and worse, just based on how haunted it was. Maybe sometimes people need to stop and think about all these types of bad things that could happen to everyone. These bad types of situation can end up not having enough patience, and possibly things have turned in a separate way. It doesn't matter if good is bad or bad is good. It's somewhat made the perfect differences. We sometimes elaborate with all those types of many materials that most scientists need. This takes part in of a lab store. we can identify of which person can act the most, knowing that they need to be exactly 100% per act. Throughout this play, the teacher might say, every student need one singular line. When the haunted spirit comes, the sky would turn all black. All of a sudden, the light turns yellow, and the haunted house glows up. The door opens by itself. A person walks in, and there was that moving chair, windows, and even all that utensil stuff started rapidly moving by itself, which we don't want that to happen. And then later on, there is a major coffin where the vampires sleep. As soon as the person opens, a vampire was closing its eyes, sleeping there. As soon as they made a big noise, a random creature wakes up. It starts to chase the person with its wings and start flying across the room. As soon as the haunted house keeps glowing and glowing, it stopped automatically. The ghost plays with the flashing light from every single lamppost, and it starts to fade up eventually. Jeremiah, good to see you. While the haunted house was still there, the ghosts started to stop playing with all the lights, and then as the people or student starts walking through the lab, a scientist magically appeared and said, "Well, kid, we studied about creatures, and you know why it was still alive?" And then the kid said, "Well, because it was a haunted thing that most people could have been done." Every single October, we celebrated Halloween by making the creatures come and go alive. Because of the scientific method, things have reappeared all of a sudden. And then, sooner or later, they start making another project for the creature to be not alive. While that continues, we understand that not everybody was on the same page. Even though Ghost was still there, it was invisible. As soon as it appears, the ghost said, "Well, hey there. I didn't know that it was night for all of us. We can figure out and look for more creatures. Through this night and day, we can go trick or treating anywhere." But then, things have turned a bit. And now we know what we've been discovered. Let's see what happens on the next slide, based on how creatures met and why we understand how zombies were creeping up onto each houses. Anyways, this is a good stream. Um, we'll see you guys possibly either Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. What do you guys think? Because I won't be live on Tuesday though. It's your choice. Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. I want to let everyone in chat answers first. Thank you guys for giving us 5 likes. I appreciate it. Um, let's go for 10. 10 likes, I'll end the stream. So, um, yes, guys. I'll be live possibly on Wednesday. If not, then possibly tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Okay? I won't. The following week, starting as of this April, I already scheduled a stream starting on the 13th and the 19th. But there will be a major time difference between those 2 dates. On April 23rd, I will be live at this point. And then on August the 8th, I'll definitely be holding a premiere. So I want to make sure you guys participate in that. We'll be doing every monthly upload until December 31st. And then next year comes and we'll start to plan more videos in the future. And then that way it will still works, okay? Uh just a heads up. I will I will still be doing up video uploads every weekday, but personally for me, I do it every month. And by the time I keep going from uploading, I might still do another full stream. Maybe in either early March or early April as of next year. All right? So, this is going to be a reminder for everyone. I'm good. Solo Apprentice, good to see you. Um, I just made a suggestion to all of you. I'll be live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Just to confirm. Uh, we'll be doing every weekly streams, and then we'll do a possibly another video coming up, and then yeah. So just a heads up. So um by the way guys, I'm ending it here. Thank you guys so much.